Well, hello. So I've been sitting on this one for quite a bit. Um, and it's not an easy conversation to have. It's not easy to talk about. Or perhaps it's even more appropriate to say it's easy to talk about, but the act of it can prove challenging. What is it I'm referring to? I'm referring to the process of letting go. And one of the reasons this conversation is relevant in this particular time, it's because we are in the fall season. And if we simply take a look at nature during the fall, we see a change in sunlight. Days get shorter, so we have less exposure to sunlight. If you look at trees begin to change color, and eventually the leaves fall from the branches. And I always find it interesting when I'm out for walks to notice which trees lose their leaves earlier than others, and some really hold on for quite some time. And that's always a reminder to me that in the letting go process, there's a natural process, and it's not on our timeline. Like growth isn't our timeline, but part of the growth process is letting go. And it's a natural process. We even see a change in temperatures in the fall season. This year in particular, the warm weather seems to be holding on a little bit longer, but we know sooner or later we'll need to pull out our sweaters and eventually cover our bodies more to keep warm with the changing temperatures. There are other signs, but those are three things that stick out to me in this very moment, so that's why I spoke to those three in particular. And I think, if we listen to language used in culture in general, there's an expression that's often thrown around. It's just, let it go. Get over it. And there's these ways of dismissing actually the process of the letting go process. And I think it is a process, and I think it is a gradual process. And why is that? Often, what we need to let go of is simply not serving us anymore. And sometimes it's letting go of a behavior. Sometimes it's letting go of people, relationships. Sometimes it's letting go of a particular style of eating, or sometimes it's letting go of a job or a particular level of lifestyle. There are many layers of letting go of emotions, letting go of thoughts, letting go of perspectives. So many layers in which we can speak to, but I find that the letting go process requires a couple of support systems. One is taking time to reflect on, what is it I could let go of in this very moment? Or what is it I could let go of during this week, or the month, or the year, or this period of my life? And this isn't always the easiest thing to think about, because often something that would be supportive of us in letting go is something we've cared about for a very long time, or someone we've cared about for a very long time, or something that has served us for a very long time. And it takes courage to look reality in the face and become aware of, it's time for me to let this go. And sometimes it comes in an actual conscientious awareness, it's time for me to let it go. And so we make the decision. I'm willing. I'm ready. Sometimes we make the decision, but we're not ready. So we kind of are sitting in that waiting space. And whatever we're holding on to, there's a stuckness to it because we're holding on to it. There's a clinging to something. And to loosen the grip, to soften, is a process. And learning to not only reflect on it in your thoughts around whatever area in your life, whatever it is you feel, if I would just naturally allow myself to let go. And with that letting go, recognize and acknowledge all the beauty that has come with it, if there is beauty associated with it. All the gifts that have come along with it. It could be just this past summer season. And maybe even recognize the sadness that could come with letting go. When we don't allow ourselves to clear out on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, seasons of our life level, then there's no space for newness to arrive. And it's a natural process. Sometimes we're aware of it, sometimes we're not. You shed your skin. You shed layers like trees shed their leaves, knowing that they're going to go into a very deep internal process in the winter season. And eventually the new season will arrive and new life is birthed. But it takes time. There's that period of hibernation. Now, we as human beings in the modern day world don't necessarily hibernate in the wintertime. Our paces of life don't necessarily match what the season is calling for. The fall season, though, does call for a shift in pace, and that can be challenging to negotiate living in a modern industrialized world, where performance and speed in the fall season is asked for, when really what our body minds are looking for is a slowing down, is taking time to pause and reflect. And so no matter where you are in this process, I think it's helpful to spend time in nature, where nature so beautifully shows and reflects back to us the natural process of letting go. Taking the time to pause and slow down and reflect and decide, if I were to let go of this right now, I'm freeing something that's weighing me down. I'm freeing up space for something new to eventually be born. And I don't know necessarily what that will be. So that can provoke fear for some people, feeling like there's no control, and recognizing that and the challenge in that. And so this time of year can be very helpful to really mindfully choose what you do to care for yourself. What kind of foods are you eating? What kind of beverages are you drinking? What are you spending your free time doing? How many hours of sleep are you getting in the evening? And what kind of movement practices, not just exercise, but movement, conscientious movement practices that are not only releasing endorphins, releasing superficial layers of tensions and stress, but things that really get to deeper layers of where we tend to hold things. And when challenged with the idea of letting something go, it can be helpful to have a conversation with a trusted person who isn't going to tell us what to do necessarily, but who would be willing to listen to us and reflect back to us where we are, like a mirroring, so we can see ourselves and gain some clarity from the conversation. And through that clarity, then make conscientious choices so that we really are showing up in this fall season in the preparation of letting go, releasing, creating space, that we create moments to be kind and loving and warm to ourselves, that we create spaces to be surrounded by a person or people who will embrace us and support us and encourage us, no matter where we happen to be. So wherever you are located in this fall season, whatever you're moving through in your life, I do wish for you the courage to create the space to sit in calm and quiet contemplation, to have those conversations, to really take a look at what is it something I'm willing to begin the process of letting go, or begin the process of loosening and softening for an eventual letting go that will then create space for newness in my life. So I hope in sharing this you have found something that has resonated with you. As always, I love hearing back from you on what does resonate with you. And may you have a beautiful rest of your